Are you ready?
I got something to say.
Oh, happy Tuesday. Monday. Happy Monday.
Wrong.
I'm used to saying that. Happy Monday.
It's Monday. Our schedules are going to be a bit weird for the next few months. Maybe Mondays, maybe Tuesdays, maybe some other days. You'll just have to.
I'm accommodating a work schedule with my
family.
So we're
with our schedule. It's not easy.
Thank you. Gosh, you're another year older. You're finishing all my sentences. This is good.
There you go.
I thought I had missed you after a couple weeks. As soon as I saw you, that was right off my face. Now, happy birthday. You turned 58.
58? What? I don't feel 58.
Well, you look 58.
I'm not 50 yet, but I'm close. I'll give you that.
You're not 50 yet?
No. Look at me. I am the essence of youth. Look at this body. Look at this face.
Yeah, when Sebastian Bach penned Youth Gone Wild, this is the face that was in mind. Everybody was thinking, that's Youth Gone Wild right there.
You know what I got a lot this weekend? I got a lot of hate this weekend. I was at a wedding.
You got a lot of hate?
Hate. Because everyone said I was Kevin Willard. Because he's bald and looks like me. And everyone hated him. He's like, Kevin Willard, get out of here. They knew I wasn't him, but they were. And I was like,
you kind of do
look like a and he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate myself.
You kind of look like
he
him.
left the Terps for Villanova.
You know,
I swear to God, like the one table behind us just kept yelling at me every time I got up to get it.
You don't look a day over 49.
That's right, Kathy. Thank you. And that's exactly. I am.
Boy, you're getting old.
I'm a couple days over 49.
Yeah,
you have a birthday coming up very soon.
Yeah, but I'm a few years younger than you are.
You are so not. Remember, we were in the kindergarten play.
Yeah, but you failed 3 times.
Nope, I was.
You couldn't do scissors.
I was the carrot,
you couldn't do big
and
blocks.
you were Mr. Magoo. Or who were you?
McGregor. Caillou, a little bit different. Ghosts don't age.
It's Jay's kind of bald and pale like me.
Yeah, but Jay has a masculine look to him. Like he's got a beard.
Why? Because he has a beard?
Yes.
I'll grow a beard.
You couldn't grow a beard.
I could if I wanted. It might take a while, but I could. I'm just saying.
If you would
Jay should be the last person.
If you would like to see Todd grow a beard
on me,
please.
Well, it's not happening because my wife doesn't like it, and we know that's not going to happen.
But you're so defiant.
Shut up, Richard. Oh, Dave's here. Hey, we got news. Right. Diamond Dave, we've got news. This is great news, actually. Our Diamond Dave double barrel, not double oak. You have to change the logo, by the way. It's not double oak. It's double barrel. Or no, it's not double barrel. It's double oaked. Mm-hmm. Diamond Dave double oaked. Pursuit United bourbon
can be whatever we call it.
Is being bottled.
There we go.
It should be double oaked. Anyway, it's being
double barrel was double barrel 47.
What?
Like we did for our last one.
But that's all right. Whatever. I don't care.
See,
it's being bottled tomorrow. So we'll talk to Jay from Shared Port and see how long. Yeah, look at that, Diamond Dave. There's the pick team. Anthony, he'll see him later. He was there. It's just a great pick team. I can't wait. I haven't tasted that, so
really,
we'll see how this.
I'll be dipped in a bucket of it.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Mark's below. All right, let's go.
This will be fun. So anyway,
here's my son. Hey, what's up? Ben, right there.
So I still feel almost like, I don't know, I shouldn't be, but I'm a little bit jet lagged. I feel like I was out on the West Coast.
2 weeks.
I know I was out on the West Coast for a long time, man. And
it's 5 days.
I kind of missed it.
Oh, you missed it?
It was longer than that, actually.
Was it? Todd, you're young.
I didn't get in until Monday morning at 2:30 at BWI.
That is true.
So
that was a long week.
I left Tuesday. It was a long week.
You did no gambling in Vegas too, did you?
I'm not a gambler, man. I don't gamble.
Todd with a beard equals breaking very bad. It's like, oh, it's true. I
would actually love to see. I think you should try and grow a beard.
It's just not going to happen, dude.
No, it's not.
What's up, Esther? Esther, I sent out a bunch of Patreon shirts today and other goodies. So more going out tomorrow.
That the pulled pork again you had?
It was. Sorry about that. I'm trying to stop it.
You can't control your intestinal turbulence.
Soda. It's going right through me. Let's go gambling.
When you get
Nicholas,
older, though, that happens. You start to lose a little bit of control.
Well, you'll be there in about 10 days. So
Todd looks no older than 60. I agree.
Frank, that's you're my boy.
I agree.
Jeez Louise. Well, anyway, guys.
So anyway,
let's talk about why you're jet lagged.
Recap. No, it was just it was a dynamite almost week out west. Flew into Vegas on a week, Tuesday night, and Todd did the long live stream where he was really tired, which was poor Todd.
3.5 hour stream.
But
that's fun though.
Got up and then flew out to Atwater.
Cheers, buddy.
Got to hang out with David for the day, his lovely wife, and we had dinner. It was nice. Got to
what's wrong with any of this?
Nothing's wrong with this. This is that segment called "It Could Have Been You." And after that, we went the next day to pick some barrels. And I got to tell you,
look at the barrels. By barrels, I see 4 here, Andy.
No, we may not be doing all 4, but
I see 4 here.
I know you see 4. I want you to try them.
Whoa, guys! There's a shocker. 4.
Let me tell you that the group who was there when we had the Patreon event afterwards almost unanimously said every pick they thought was even better than last year's. And last year's were absolute rock stars between the Hazmat, Appetite for Hazmat, and then the Rhine Affection. So I am stoked for you to try these because I think we've got 4 absolute killers.
Well,
and after that,
what do you guys think of the chat of 4 Corbin Cash picks? They won't be all at the same time, I hope.
No. There's plans in the works. We'll keep you.
We have plans, guys. We don't even know if we're going to take all 4. I don't think. Are we? We'll find out.
We discuss on air negotiate.
Well, let's be transparent here.
I am being transparent. 3 are definitely coming. We'll work on the 4th.
There you go. I knew that.
So
I'm just playing dumb.
You play well.
Thank you. What's up, Kevin?
Anyway, we went from there to Vegas with our winners, Mark and his lovely wife, Kathy. They were just an absolute blast to hang out with. I feel like I made 2 new friends. They were just absolutely wonderful. Got some really good grub. Got some fast grub. We'll talk about that later too. And then we went to the Grateful Dead shows. It was it was fun. It was a blast. We had a good time.
We'll talk about that when we have Mark and David up. I want to grill you guys on a little Grateful Dead sphere experience, so to speak. I want to ask more questions about that.
Okay, you can ask away. Anyway, look, it was a wonderful time. So why don't we start bringing? We'll bring a few people up first. First of all, the man who kind of made this possible, and just a good friend of ours, and we appreciate you being here. So, Mr. David Souza from Corbin Cash. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hold on.
Good, man. Good to be on. How you guys doing?
Josh is doing great.
Josh. So, the story was, if you see Todd being called Josh, is because when I got out there. I said, can you just do me a favor? And when I called Todd, just tell him you called him Josh by accident because he forgot who he was. And absolutely. And then next, all the guys who went to the event were calling him Josh. So
I deserve that. You missed something, Brent. Yeah, you did not miss. You missed winning the giveaway that we did, and you didn't go with Andy either. So yeah, you missed out.
Yeah, so that's all right. Did you get to see? Well, more on that coming too, Tim. I did have my first experience, my virgin experience in and out. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later too. But first of all, David, thank you again. Great week, it really was. I just, I came home and I was excited about the barrels. I thought the weekend in Vegas was a ton of fun. We had a good time, so I appreciate it very much. So from Josh and I to you, thank you. We appreciate it very much.
Well, no, it was great, and it was cool to have Anthony and everybody out here. So just everybody.
That's awesome.
It was super cool. I was surprised. I didn't know all those people were showing up. So.
Sorry about that. We crashed the Black Panther party.
The more the merrier. It was awesome.
I think that shows how great our patrons are. I mean, we have people traveling from across the country just because, one, they had friends out there, but two, they saw the opportunity to kind of hang out with you at the distillery and get a little bit intimate with some of the things we were picking. And I think that's amazing. And we had 8 or 9 different people, about 10 people,
10
right?
people come out there. We put out originally, we're like, hey, going to be in Atwater to see David and do a meet and greet, and weren't getting many bites. And then I changed it. It was like, Josh won't be attending. And next thing you know, we got like 10 people coming out and hanging. And it was truly amazing, the response. We appreciate it. So, no, it was cool to meet a lot of people for the first time.
Very funny. It's a reference to my son's channel. Anyway, all right. Let's bring up some people who were there.
Let's bring up some people. So, got to meet Gilbert for the first time. What's going on, my friend? Good to see him. Everybody knows the man, the myth, Anthony Peters. If Anthony likes it, you're all going to like it.
You're all going to like it.
Good news. You're all going to like it.
He'll eat it.
David, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
David,
thank you for being here.
Cheers, man.
It was a pleasure meeting you guys. And while he didn't taste them at Atwater, he got to taste them all in Vegas. So we're going to bring up the Vegas winner, the big winner, man, Mark. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys too.
Well,
so
where do we start here? I mean, let me ask you guys this. So Andy gets there you picked them before they came. I guess you and David were picking these barrels a few hours before everybody showed up at Corbin Cash, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody on panel, you guys got to try all these, right? I'm curious, did any of the 4 that we haven't gone into them, are there any, you don't have to say by names, did any stand out to you? Do you is there one that you like, absolutely, this is something different?
Well,
or
let's tell
special?
People what we have here before you do that, because the people don't even know what we've got lined up.
I didn't want to name names. Okay, that's fine. So, makes sense.
Then let's not tell you before we do that. Not to cut you off, because that was great, good segue, but we're not going to do it. I'm
going to start drinking. Which ones can I start drinking?
None of them. Cleanse your palate with something else, because I know you. These will be gone. We won't have anything for tasting notes, so don't do anything yet.
Oh, we'll get tasting.
I have to monitor you. Let me.
All right. You know what?
Bring something up real fast.
I will do a very easy palate cleanse, which is the new 2005 Heroes. 2025. I'm sorry. 1783 Evan Williams small batch Heroes, which is a nice 90 proof whiskey.
You're a hero of sorts here.
You want some of that?
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's
a
great way to start. What is before we get there? All right.
62-year-old hero.
What Gilbert, Mark, David, Anthony, what are you guys drinking as we start this journey into Corbin Cash Week?
I'm just doing a little 1910. Old Forester 1910 for me.
David, you got the 1910? Oh, case 1 rum. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Finally opened it.
Yes.
Give it a shot.
And what do you think?
I don't know. It's
different,
better than expected. I don't drink a lot of rum, but I think it was definitely a good pick.
Nice. Gilbert, what did you have?
The 1910.
That's it.
All right. Mark?
Old Lions peated and OCD number 5. Going smoky tonight.
There you go.
Very nice.
And
very nice.
Anthony's got a little Corbin Cash.
Yep, sour mash bourbon, the unsung bourbon that people really should be aware of. It's quite nice. Quite nice.
See, look at that. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
I'm going to share this. Can you see that? Come up?
You got to bring it up.
Bring it up. Thank you. All right. I didn't have time to add sound, and I'm actually kind of glad, because I can put this
I don't know what
everybody
you're doing.
Else. Just a little recap since we're on here, just to kind of show everybody what the trip was like, because it was a lot of fun. We had a great time out there. So,
all right,
here's a little recap and chat about it. So this is the trip out to Corbin Cash, folks. If I can get that to play again, there we go. And so, crap. There we go. Picking there. So that is one of the barrels that we picked. Yeah, there we go. It's going perfectly so far. Yeah, and it didn't download in time. But here's the event. I mean, this is all the guys at the distillery. You guys can jump in if you want and chat about it. But everyone got that. Is one of the barrels we'll be tasting that we got straight out of the barrel. It was fantastic. There's Mike Beasley. He's not on tonight, and Morgan. But just meeting all the Patreons, all the guys was great. There's Yoda himself, Anthony Peters. We got scenes from the bar. It was cool. There's David hanging out. There's the group. That's the crew that came. We got a good group, came out and had a good time. And then we took a prop job, man, an 8-person prop job from Merced to Vegas. There's Mark and Kathy, his wife, who went to an amazing dinner at Carver Steak. That's us. Yes, see, I have hair, Todd. You guys didn't realize that. No, see, it's proof. Just in case people didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
See, there it is. That's not doctored at all.
Mm-hmm.
That is the sphere. That's the dead. They were. It was really. I mean, the graphics and stuff were really cool. And then
the graphics were really cool. The graphics were really cool.
And then heading home. So
that's hilarious.
So we had a great time.
The graphics were really cool. That says all you need to say about that.
We'll get to the dead at some point and talk about them because it was different, but it was fun. I'm trying to think of how do I get out of here? Where the hell is my get too much stuff up?
What are you trying to do about
trying to get back to where we are. There we go. Okay, we're out. Okay, good. So anyway, there we go.
All right, so let's talk about this. So you went there, you picked some barrels, and you going out there, we were on the mindset we're certainly looking for another rye, possibly definitely another bourbon if there's even availability there. And then we had talked about some other things that if they were available, we'd be interested in.
So I'll give you the order of what we're doing, and we can try and I think we should taste them in this order.
All right.
Yes, we've got a rye. Yes, we have a bourbon. And I was also told that if I didn't bring back a sweet potato whiskey or liqueur, that I was going to get kind of drawn and quartered. It was just not going to be good. So
by the people there, or
by everyone, if everyone came out. So there's a funny
Frank was going to put the beat down on you, man.
Oh yes, he was. So was Anthony. Yeah, I have Anthony on film saying if you don't bring this home, he'd beat the hell out of me. So it was.
I think Anthony might have taken the barrel himself if you didn't. I think that's what's going to happen, from what I hear.
I'd throw my back to that barrel.
It was fantastic, but and I'll let David chime in on this because this is great. The first thing we're going to be tasting is neither a sweet potato or a rye or a whiskey. It's something a little bit different.
Something different.
He got to host Bobby from Bad X Bourbon the day before and said, and everybody was kind of going crazy about this product that we're rolling out here, this new whiskey, so to speak. And basically, I'll let David tell the story, but long story short, it is a distilled rye beer that just blew everybody's socks off. And I tried it. I was like, God, I love this. And so, David, you want to talk a little bit about this kind of special thing we're sipping on here? Even if it doesn't make it to fruition, I just wanted them to try it.
Yeah. So during COVID, we were, a lot of restaurants shut down, and our local brewery, Dust Bowl Brewing, they got a lot of beer back. And so we were taking some of the beer out of the kegs, and we had some corn ethanol that we were making hand sanitizer for the community. But he had called and Don, the brewer, and said, "Hey, I made this rye beer, but it's hella bitter. Like bitter to drink. We barrel aged it." And so I went and tasted it, and I'm like, the front was really good, but it was very bitter on the finish. So we decided to distill it, and it just came really like
I could smell that right away.
Effervescent almost off of the still. And so we ended up putting in new charred American oak, rested it about 10 proof. And, the other day I just cracked it open before Bobby had showed up, and it kind of blew my mind. I was like, man, I actually like this. It feels like a beer drinker's whiskey, and just light on the hops. And even my wife enjoyed it. She don't like beer. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
What's the mash bill on this, David? So this is a rye.
It's essentially it's a malt. It's a malt whiskey because it was all rye malt.
It's all rye malt. Okay.
Yeah, but there is some hops in it, so which give it that little bit of floral note on it.
But every time I've had any type of beer finish, if it's a porter or stout, there's a chance I'm going to like it. If it's an IPA or anything too hoppy, I feel like it's just I haven't had a good one yet. When I heard that this was bitter but hoppy and just came out like this, I was absolutely blown away. So I love this one. So
on the nose, I get chocolate on the nose, which is interesting to me, like milk chocolate, not bitter chocolate, which I thought I would get because you guys were talking how. But so help me understand this, David. When you we brew beer here and we ferment and then we carbonate it and it's ready to go. You're telling me they fermented this thing out, they threw in hops, they didn't carbonate it, I assume. So it was uncarbonated beer.
No, it was carbonated.
It was carbonated.
Well, actually, take that back. It may not have been. It wasn't probably carbonated yet because it went into the barrels.
Right.
And when they tasted it out of the barrel, that's when he called. He's like, they had like 6. I think they were. I don't remember if they were Jack Daniel's barrels or Bardstown, but they were. They had about 6 barrels there, and coming out of the barrel, it was just a little bit quite bitter. But it did have those like chocolate notes to it, but almost like bitter chocolate. And then after we distilled it, it was like all the bitterness went away. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So even the White Dog was really good. So I was like, I can't throw this for hand sanitizer. I got to throw this in a barrel.
I'm curious what the group thought of this. Now, even if it wasn't your cup of tea, what was your initial reaction? Did they all try this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anthony, everyone's tried it. Okay. So Gilbert, David, Mark, curious. I have my thoughts. Give me a second on this. What do you guys think? Good, better, and different. And it's okay if you didn't like it. We cannot.
I think it's interesting. Really interesting. Never tried something like it before.
Yeah, I think that sums it up nicely. It was like nothing I've ever had, but I really, really enjoyed it.
I think you can
you don't really think of it as whiskey.
Right.
It's kind of a tough call because it's like if you want to compare it to
I can
whiskey,
taste the hops.
It's hard because it's not really whiskey, but it's almost like it's refreshing. Like
yes.
Yeah, that's the word.
Effervescent.
We all said.
Effervescent. To me, it's like a summer whiskey.
It is.
It's going to call it a whiskey.
What's the proof? What's the proof on this? I'm curious. I don't. It seems 115ish, 120, like around there.
It's around 120.
I can taste the hops. It tastes to me in beer. It's not like overpowering bitter. It's the floral citrus notes of the hops that you taste, not the bittering hops that I'm tasting on this, which is kind of freaking my brain out.
Almost rounded everything out the way it wasn't supposed to, and I think that's what. So like this universal, theory with everyone was, I've never had anything like this, and it's amazing. It's different.
Yeah,
and I think that's the part that. So some people are like, look, if you're a bourbon drinker, you're going to have 2 or 3 of them. You want to get them. That's fine. They may not take a bunch of these, but they're intrigued enough that this is a talking point. People are like, you've got to try this. There's a story behind it. And it's one of those just kind of neat story whiskeys but it's damn good. You almost have to try it to understand it. Otherwise,
that is true.
It's like nothing that we're even explaining is probably going to come through and resonate unless you actually
Does anybody in the chat have a question about this? So again, this is a beer, I guess, or actually it's a beer that was distilled
rye beer.
A rye beer that was distilled and then how long? What's the age on this, David? What is it? How long did you have it?
It's been 2020, so 5 years.
Wow.
Todd, I had the same reaction as you. I got the hops as well. I completely agree. It wasn't the bitter; it was the floral and just a hint of citrus. So the litmus test for me, and Andy and David can attest to this. Sometimes when we acquire wonderful bourbons, our spouses may not be super thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Kathy, who was sitting right there, tasted this and said, "You're buying a bottle of that."
Oh, yeah. There, and you can taste the rye. There's a bit. You have an echo? I hear an echo. Sorry.
There is an echo somewhere.
There is there's a bit of a mint on the back end of me as well, which I actually like in ryes that I don't get in. So, David, I can tell this doesn't taste like anything I've tried from you ever. I mean, this doesn't taste like a Corbin Cash rye. It's not. If you put this in front of them, they'd be like, bullshit, this isn't rye. This isn't Corbin Cash. It's not their profile. Yeah. So that intrigues me because it's not. Although I don't know if that does intrigue me. I mean, I love what you do. So I don't know. I don't know what I think about this. Do I think our community would like this? I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's the beauty of this. There is a lot of unknown.
I like it. I would buy it too. I think it's really cool. There's something I gotta try more. There's other things in there that I'm not pulling out.
I think it's you're right. I think it's a little bit more, despite the fact that it's a really appealing drinker to a lot of people. And let's just see if you can find out where the where that's coming from. But even though I think this would appeal to a lot of people, it's still very complex for what it is, which is kind of amazing. There's still a lot going on with it, and the more it sits and kind of opens up, I mean, it's a really unique, fun pour. So honestly, I think the hope that I would have for something like this is, as we start getting into the double digits here with barrels and people start aligning their palates and saying, hey, I like what you guys are putting out, that this is something that you would take a flyer on and say, if everybody is saying it's that unique, then you're buying it blind. Because sometimes that's just, let's face it, that's kind of what we do with things. This is different. And so if it got to that point where we decided, hey, we're going to do it. And look, Bobby fell in love with it. He's like, I got to have a barrel of this too. So like there was a lot of kind of hysteria around this one, and for good reason. So there was nothing about me that ever thought that there would be a fourth sample coming home. But I am glad this came back, because I mean,
all right,
David, you did a great job. This is
I'm not saying no on this at all. It's very intriguing. I would love to see this on its own. I mean, so I can't wait to get the other ones. I know what's coming on two of these in terms of what the profile is, but I'm curious, Anthony, Gilbert, would you guys, and there's a question, David Corey has a question about, is this a product that will be sold elsewhere or distillery only? David, you're muted, buddy.
So we had talked about that. I think we'll probably release some, like if you guys want to sell it on your channel through Jay. I only have 2 barrels of it, so there's not a lot.
I'll tell you what.
But but yeah, we wanted to kind of see what people thought of it. At the end of the day, I feel like that's one of those things. It's a good whiskey for the summer because it's so light and refreshing on a hot ass day. And if you want to drink whiskey, but
I agree.
Again, I wouldn't. But when you think of whiskey, you don't think of that. So it's just so, I guess that's what makes it cool.
It is cool. And I don't know how often you have distilled with beer that has hops in it. I know sometimes you'll take brewers, wort and distill that, but it's not the hops that might not be in it. Yeah. How often do you do that?
Well, we never do it, but
yeah,
we did it through COVID because there was so much beer getting thrown down the drain because it was getting expired. So Dust Bowl graciously donated it for hand sanitizer, and like some of their beers were just like, it was sad because some of their hazy IPA that came off was amazing as well. It almost killed me to turn it into
ballpark. Oh, that's a good question. What's the price range on something like this? Ballpark. Are we talking over 100? Under 100? What do you think?
You guys probably not even close to being there yet, but
I don't know.
I don't even know, because I just reached out to him because I'm like, hey, I might want to make some more of that. So I'm waiting for them to tell me how much the mash bill cost, because I got it at a discount because they were going to toss it. So,
right. Yeah.
I don't. And when I look at beer, their beer is typically their beer's a lot more expensive to make than our mashes because of the hops and all of the malts that they use. But it also produced really well. So I'll be curious.
I actually like that.
But the
it
one
grows
thing
on you, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. And you say summer, but there's almost like a holiday-esque quality to this. There's something else I'm tasting here. Yes, I get the floral notes of the hops. Yes, I get the citrus. It's effervescent. There is a mint in the background, but there is something else in there.
It's rye beer, man. I think of when we used to do like the big rye IPAs.
Yeah,
there's a malty note that comes through on this as well. That's really cool. That you get some of those red X kind of notes that kind of chip through there.
Okay,
and, you do get a little bit of the spicier kind of. I don't know. Traditional, I like almost like a rye bread sometimes with some of these things. It's interesting.
I'm very intrigued with that. Maybe David, we could do a hat. I don't know what the yield on something like this is.
This is the to be determined.
Yeah.
So
I'm intrigued though, because that is very different. And I think some people, as Mark mentioned, once you try it, you're like, oh, that is different. I'm curious, Anthony. I know, and David and Gilbert, for you guys, what else is coming? What were your thoughts on the rye beer whiskey, whatever you want to call it, in just very general terms?
I thought it was pretty good. I've tried actually a few different distilled beer derivatives. Like McClintock in our area did a rye ale that was distilled and improved down to 80 proof. I think that this is actually very good for its kind of flavor profile. So if you've ever had like Koval rye or Dad's Hat rye, and you're like, oh, that's way too floral, but I kind of like that floral grapefruit kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be sweeter. Well, this is sweeter. This is a nice, sweet, very good palate, but it still has that floral grapefruit kind of punch, which is really nice. And I think I really agree with David. This really does feel like a summertime kind of whiskey.
Yeah. All right. Well, to be determined. We'll see if it comes to our group. I'm interested. I mean, listen, if we have the ability to bring in some of this, I think a lot of people would try it, be like, you know what, that's pretty interesting, and I like it. So
even if it's not your jam, which is kind of funny, I feel like it's like tobacco from The Simpsons, where you have it and you have to keep going back and eating the tobacco tomato together. I mean, because it just works. And so if you've seen that episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's that rye beer to me. Now, is this up to your liking here?
That smells very nice. So what are we going to next, Andy?
All right, so let's stay in the rye family. Let's do the 10-year.
This is a 10-year.
This is a 10-year, if I'm not mistaken.
David, or soon to be 10 year. David, what's this rye that Andy's got this barrel off? Is it a soon to be 10?
I'm pretty sure it was already 10.
All right, it's already 10. Damn.
This
if it wasn't 10, it's 10. Well, it's 10 now because it was 10 in March. So today's the last day of March. So
God. All right.
Your audio cut off.
Yeah, Toby just lost your audio.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Now it's back.
You did something.
I'm trying to figure out where the echo's
I know where it's coming from. It's no big deal. What did you guys think of the rye before I get into it? Cheers, everybody. We're drinking the rye pick from Corbin Cash for 25. Mark, David, what did you think? David, what did you think of the rye? Are you a rye guy to begin? I assume you are. You're a big Corbin Cash fan.
Yes, no, I enjoyed that rye.
Nice.
I think it was slightly more. I tasted a little more oak than last year's pick, but by far it was there was no complaints coming out of me.
Oh, sweet love of my life.
Yeah, this one's amazing. I mean,
Yes.
I told
God.
Dave he's gonna make a rye guy out of me. This stuff was incredible.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah. So I know what you want to do, but hold on before you do it.
Okay.
Mark and I did that.
Okay.
We took last year's Rye and Affection, which was to that point maybe my favorite rye I've had, and we put them side by side, and I felt like it was little brother looking up at big bro, like, God, you kind of beat me again. Like, it was amazing that even that extra year, the complexity of this thing is off the charts. I knew you'd kind of go batshit crazy for this one, because this is absolutely glorious.
The finish on this is absolutely divine. I've only taken 2 sips, and I'm still tasting different waves of flavor. Anthony, I'm curious. I know you posted some notes on these. What were your initial thoughts to the rye?
Oh, it's really fantastic. And unlike some of the other Corbin Cash ryes, this one actually has a little bit of that kind of terroir to it. You know, so like there's this like it's kind of like either earthy or sweet potato kind of thing, because I guess he left them in the rick house near the sweet potato fields, and I feel like you get a little bit of that, but it's got this, you know, the beautiful kind of apricot I get off of this particular kind of rye whiskey, and it's got a nice vanilla. Like, it is a complex, wonderful beast. I cannot wait to buy a bottle.
Yeah, David can talk to this more, but there was a couple different places where these were grown. And and I think the terroir truly did shine on this one. And he was showing me which ones came from the sweet potato field, which ones were more rye centric, which ones were more the almond field. And man, this one just it finally spoke to me. I was like, I have to have this one, because we deliberated. We went back and forth. Then we went and tasted the bourbons. Then came back again to the rye, had a couple more bourbons, came back, and it was just like, this is it, because they were all so good. But this one at the end, I could not bring this back. It was that good. It was amazing.
It had the most complexity to it. Like versus
Agreed.
The other two.
Totally agree with that.
One of them
And
was, and I tried to show Andy, like, we're talking about like this, looking at the farm records, these couple of these particular barrels did come out of the sweet potato field. So it's the rye sweet potato combination consistently year over year. And so you get a little bit more of those, like almost, you get more mouthfeel out of those barrels, and you typically get a little more fruit spices like apple spices or apricot notes and stuff like that. So it's always interesting to see the difference.
Like Andy said, doing the 9 and 10 back to back was amazing. I mean, you could tell they were related, but it was like he said, and this was like the big brother strutting his new Marine Corps uniform going, this is what you want to be someday, buddy.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing too? Because last year I couldn't wrap my head around how good the 9-year was. And it is glorious. But when you try it next to this, it feels like it's got this little bit of aggression where it's just kind of like, I'm just not quite there. And I'm ready to kind of claw up the ladder, even though it blows 99% of the other ryes in the field away. And then this comes along. I'm telling you, it's a
10-year rye.
It is, but throw out because we tried some 9s that were fantastic too, and we went back and forth. We did nothing based upon age.
No, but
once or proof. But this one we kept going back. My God, is this
David?
amazing.
Do you know the proof? Is it around? Is this the 140-ish?
My assumption is
okay. Yeah,
we haven't pulled anything.
But I don't think it drinks 140.
Oh, no.
Well, we just released our first 10-year barrel this weekend, and it was 145 proof.
I think you could get away with 125 on this. Honestly, if you blinded this and I didn't know, I would say 125.
Get the Ryan Affection. Put them out side by side real quick. Let's do this for fun.
Okay, give me a second.
Because I think you're going to be amazed. And again, not because there's anything wrong with that last year's pick, because it was my favorite, really, probably of last year. But this one is just a little notch above. Like, I think, Mark, you said it perfectly. You'll get there someday, buddy. Just kind of stay in your little home for a little cocoon, butterfly. You're not quite ready to come out yet, even though to the rest of the world's like, yeah, they're ready. So, yeah, I can't wait for you to try these side by side, because this is just – Mark and I did this in Vegas with David and Kathy, and it was a fun little experiment because –
yeah, it was.
I wasn't quite, because it was funny because that was the only one you hadn't tried yet, Mark. So I brought him out. Yep. He hadn't had the Ryan Affection, and then I brought him a bottle of the Pour Some Awesome.
All right, let's just get drunk.
You know, a little bit.
No, what are you doing? This is that.
All right, relax, your little fellow. All right. Okay. Feisty. That's what hanging a crotchety old man. I go in here and lawn shaking your newspaper. Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers. Getting old's tough, Todd,
all right,
isn't it?
So let's do this then. Yeah, on the nose.
All right.
So, one of the things, as I'm gathering my notes on the 25 pick, the 10-year, I also got like a gingery, like chocolate and ginger, which is a crazy combination. I guess the cacao.
I call it baking spices.
I didn't mention it, but at the very end, I get like this earthy cacao kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's fucking wonderful.
You're right. Yeah,
I call it baking spices, but I think you're right. I think there's more cacao in that.
Yep. Yeah.
I think the fun thing about both of them, really, but this 10-year changes so quickly. Each sip, each kind of taste, and as it opens up a little bit, it continues to evolve, which is great. So let's go back a year to that beautiful Ryan Affection that Sugar Kitty loves so much to label. That's pretty damn tasty. Let's not cut
we're
corners.
Split hairs. Yes. I think the finish, though, on the 25 is certainly, to me at least,
it feels a little more complex, the 10. It
maybe.
just feels a little bit more layered and
the
textured. Finishing. I think it's just a little bit more layered and a little bit more textured, a little less of the heat that you get, even though there's minimal on this. This just doesn't feel. If you told me 140, I'd say bullshit on this. No way.
I would say that with this too.
True.
So, let's be honest. We were talking about that when you picked it. That was a great thing about it. You could tell they're very similar in profile. That's Corbin Cash. rye right there. That's what I love about it. Are there differences? You bet. I do think you get a little bit more oak also in the 10, which makes sense, right? I think there is soft oak on it. It's not nowhere near over oaked or tannic or anything like that, which is good.
But I even see that as we're getting the older bourbons, like that's where we talk like after the 10-year, even before 10-year, being really careful depending on the barrels we're using about temperature control, because as David mentioned, this one I do taste more oak in it. So I think if we were to let that go 11 years, it would probably be over oaked at some point. So I think it's
okay.
We're gonna have to start paying attention to some of these older barrels.
All right. Well, I will say this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that you?
I think you were right about how the 10 this year's has almost. I've drank it for literally 5 minutes, so I think they are very similar. I don't know who said they're like almost like brothers, big brother, little brother. The flavor profiles are very similar. However, I do think this is a bit more nuanced. The softer oak, I think it does it really well, especially on the finish. That's where I think this really shines.
Yeah,
and that to me is a big thing.
I would agree with that 100%. But I do think that this even drinks it doesn't drink 145 or whatever we had this one on. This drink's a little bit bigger than this one. This one is probably surprisingly just layered and just I think it's
the finish on this
absolutely
is so good.
I think they're both glorious, but this one is if you liked last
Gilbert,
year's,
what did you think? I'm gonna ask Gilbert. Gilbert, what did you think of the rye? I think I asked Gilbert what he thought. Gilbert, what did you think of the rye? Oh shoot, are you muted? She's muted somehow. Hold on, Gilbert. Somehow you're muted. I don't know why everybody's muted. Go ahead.
I said I thought it was great. You know, I've already tried a couple of single barrels. I just picked up that new 10-year this weekend.
Ooh,
and
look at you.
I mean, it's great. It's just you can't beat his rise. You know, Dave,
exactly.
They're just awesome.
There you go. I agree. I mean, it's definitely Corbin Cash rye.
Become the new rye king of.
Well, I may become the bourbon king too soon.
Right,
guys. I hope you're excited. That is it's
freaking killer. I can't wait to play the video of everyone's reaction to, because every single person that I interviewed each person individually, collectively said that these next two that we're trying, as much as they loved last year's, they thought was a step up, and that was a collective. By the way, by themselves. They all said that on their own, which I thought was amazing. So there's a great segue, Todd.
Yes.
To our next whiskey to try. So
is it the bourbon? Mm-hmm. Well, Andy, I'm happy that you were able to come home with the bourbon, because it's sold out. David, when we had the hazmat, the 150, it didn't really make it far in our group. A lot of people were shut out. So we're trying to make this spread a bit further. I assume the yield will probably be around the same or less, right? We're talking about a year older. Yeah. It's probably not going to be as more, right?
I would assume not.
Yeah. So we'll put limits on the bourbon for sure.
Everybody can get a half bottle.
No, but I think we had 2 on the last one, or 3? Maybe we might have had 3, and it didn't make it to
let's put it this way: it was like Black Friday. People were jumping over each other, stepping on each other. We learned our lesson pretty quick on that one, so it's fine.
All right.
So half bottles of these next time. You guys have to split it with a friend.
No.
Awesome,
Corey.
No, it's absolutely fantastic.
All right, can I have a little bit of this bourbon?
You know what? I thought of you.
Is that the bourbon, or is that the? This is B. So bourbon. That's sweet potato.
Did you put them out? Did you put them out of order?
I didn't do anything.
You never do anything.
Jesus. All right, so let's go to the bourbon. Gilbert, David, Mark, Anthony, what did we think of the? Is this an 8 or 9 year bourbon, David?
He's on mute.
Oh, he's on mute again. Sorry, we got people muted everywhere.
Sorry.
You're good.
It'll
You're
be
good.
9 years here in another month.
Wow. Well, we'll wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
This is gonna knock your socks off. The exact ones you wear at the beach. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna knock your socks off. Trust me on this.
All right, Mark, David. Before I get into this, what did you guys think of the bourbon?
I totally agree. I mean, I love that the hazmat bourbon is one of my favorites right now, and it's too spicy for Kathy. She liked this one as well. I thought this one was just eye-opening. It was amazing how much a bourbon can mature in just another year. This one is just incredible.
vanilla cream.
Oh, poor Morgan doesn't know I called him up. There he is. Morgan, what's up?
Oh, Morgan. There you are. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Yeah, this is. We're going to have to go back to the Birdie Bunch here. There we go. Get everybody on here. This is just.
All right, somebody's.
David, I think that might be you, man. I love you.
It's David. Yeah, it's David. It's David. It's David. We just mute him when he's not talking.
You may have another window or something open.
I know. I get a lot of.
You're the only one I didn't want to
here.
mute. I feel bad now.
It's all right, David. Last time it was me. I had to put headphones on.
It's all good. Morgan, how are you, man? I know you're a big fan of Corbin Cash. You've picked barrels there. You've got a 160 proof rye that you have, or something crazy like that. We're on to the bourbon. I'm curious what you thought of that, Morgan.
Of the bourbon?
Yeah, the bourbon, real quick. That's what we're on now.
Fantastic.
I mean, how's it? Fantastic. There you go. All right, good. Yeah. There you go. That makes sense. I haven't tried it yet.
Short, sweet, and to the point. And I want to do the same thing we did with the Ryan Affection. Just after this, I want you to take the hazmat out too, because this is where the difference really is. So last year's hazmat was obviously a killer. People loved it.
Go get that. I might as well get it.
But so David and I were going through some of the bourbons, and David, correct me if I'm wrong. There's only a handful of barrels at this age left for in the hazmat bourbon range, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. So we're sipping through them, and we both kind of had this moment where like, this is now at the absolute perfect age where the oak kind of played together so well, gave you that nod that yes, you're now drinking a more older, refined whiskey, but you run that risk of if it sits too much longer, maybe being a little overly oaked, a la maybe that Elijah Craig 18 kind of style, just because that Atwater heat is going to catch you up really fast. So when we tried this, we're like, damn, this is just bloody perfect. And this is the one when everybody had the hazmat that everyone had to have last year. Everyone had to have. This was the bottle that everyone had to have. They all said this was better. That's what blew my mind. So I can't wait for you. Don't even worry about last year's yet. Try this one first.
Okay.
And
all right.
Tell me what your thoughts are on this. I just kind of want to. I can't wait for the Todd 60-second review on this one.
Give me a second. This is all right, we'll get into it.
What say you there, little fella?
I told you I get a lot of vanilla cream on the nose, which is really nice. Even like, I mean, there's a fruit component I'm trying to put. Even I don't know.
Again, sticking your digit in there, tell me how you feel no heat. Like that's an amazing thing. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. I mean, that's. This seems to be a bit more viscous than I remember the last year's.
You're getting oak.
Yes.
You're not getting the oak presence as much on last year's.
No.
This year, now turning 9. That oak is just playing perfectly where it's just that peak right amount where it's not over or under oaked at all.
Yeah.
It just kind of balanced perfectly. I'll whip around the room here. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on this. David, let's start with you, man. What did you think about that the hazmat bourbon?
No, I wish I would have had the opportunity to try them back to back.
We'll have to send you some of our.
Well, I don't know. I have the hazmat.
Oh, okay, got you.
I didn't bring a bottle with me.
Makes sense.
To
makes sense.
Cash, but that would have been nice to try them back to back. But it was it was pretty amazing. Honestly, I don't remember tasting as much oak on the bourbon as I did the rye, but in no way that somebody said earlier, none of it's overpowering. Definitely not Elijah Craig 18 or even close.
No. Well said. Gilbert, what are your thoughts, man?
I thought it was. I actually liked the bourbon more, surprisingly. Before I like his rye, but this bourbon, I mean, I don't know if it's the extra year or the extra age, but it's like it's a real subtle oak. Like you said, you could taste it that it's aged a little bit, but it's just I thought it was phenomenal. I liked it a lot.
Fantastic, love it.
I wish I would have been able to try your guys' last year's ones too. Missed out on those. We
can work with you on that one.
Nice.
We'll get you a sample of that, buddy. Don't you worry about that. Anthony, what are your thoughts, my friend?
Well, for me, this particular one has an interesting flavor diversion from the what is it called, Appetite for Hazmat.
Yep.
So the Appetite for Hazmat had kind of a cinnamon quality, but like a very fruity kind of caramel forward thing. This one was a diversion in that it went to a more cayenne vanilla kind of thing, which I really enjoyed. It was very good. And it had a little bit of that apricot that was in the rye, probably from the terroir or whatnot, but it was just very good. Very good.
Agreed. And I know you had fantastic as your tasting notes, but anything above fantastic that you want to add to it? Morgan, that's you.
Oh, yeah. No, I.
Double fantastic.
It's just even more fantastic than I can think of saying.
It's just hard to do it with having them side by side at the moment, kind of a thing.
I hear you, buddy.
But no, they're both great mouthfeel.
Do we know? I mean, this was 150. Do we know this year's is? Again, I hate to say proof points, but again, I don't think drinks.
We know from. I think David's getting headphones, I believe, but I think we know these are going to be in the hazmat range. Do we know it's going to hit the magical 150 number? No,
I don't think it has to. I don't.
No,
care.
it doesn't. The proof. This could be 72 proof. I'd buy it 10 times over. It doesn't really matter. It's amazing. This is just absolutely dynamite. So, if you guys enjoyed the hazmat, I think for destruction, I think this one will exceed your expectations for a follow up. This is the rare time where I think.
Are they different barrels? They're the same barrel. I wish David was still here.
He's coming.
I'm curious if they're the same barrels. Are they? I don't know what he uses. I know he uses different barrels.
David, are you on? I think you're. Well, he's getting on. But I don't know. His camera wasn't working, but he said he's getting back on.
All right, it's all good.
But
interesting.
How great is this?
It's really good. Again, they both it drinks under. I think it to me, I get a lot more vanilla cream. I get some honey. I do get caramel. I mean, they are very similar. So if you loved what we did last year with the bourbon, the hazmat, you're gonna absolutely love this again, and maybe even more so because I think it's a bit more drinkable. It's a bit more approachable, and in terms of the soft oak that comes through, the honey, the vanilla cream. There is a spiciness to it, and the finish again on this, I think, is where that spice comes through, and it just continues and continues.
Maybe it's the Easter in me, okay? But if you take a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of oak, and you throw a Cadbury egg on it, I feel like that's kind of what I'm sipping on. Like I'm using one of your kind of dessert type, analogies here, but I appreciate that. Can't think of a more.
I mean, they're both fantastic.
There's David's back. There we go.
David, my question was: is there any difference?
It was the refrigerator in the bar that was making all
right.
Noise.
No, you sound great now.
You sound great now. Right. There you go.
Yeah, I went outside.
In the bourbons, David, the bourbon last year and the bourbon this year, are they different barrels or similar cooperages? Are they the same kind of barrel?
Same exact barrel.
Same exact barrel. Okay.
Yeah. So
because
Yeah, the only difference is the age. It's been, and they're sitting in the exact same spot the other ones were.
Wow.
So again, it just goes to show you a little bit. And Andy and I both said that when we tasted it, we're like, just the same thing with the rye, like David mentioned. It's like that extra year added a little bit of that oak. So I definitely, it's like I wouldn't let these go another year. They would be over oaked, I think. I think it's just
I don't
where they're at.
I think we pulled these guys at the exact right. Dave, was that the cat that was photobombing every one of our shots? By the way, that I heard. It's funny because every time I shot one of the guys for individual, this is the most lovable cat. I think it thinks it's a dog because it snuggles with everybody. Then it jumps up on the bar, and it's kind of funny. He's got some canine blood in there somewhere.
Well,
but. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is what are you sipping on now?
I'm just trying a little bit more of the bourbon.
Oh, okay, yeah,
just a little bit. Listen.
I think this be your jam, man. This is right up your alley.
The question is, would I like better? And I think Gilbert, you say you like the actual bourbon better than the rye. I might be with you.
Man, it's tough. It's really tough. You go back and forth, but that bourbon really blew me away.
I agree with you on that. And listen, I'm a rye guy, so maybe I go. It depends on my mood, but Jesus, I mean, again, I'll say it again. If you were a fan of what you picked last year, you're going to be head over heels on these two, because I think it just adds to what was last year's single barrels, just nuanced and layered a bit more, and that extra year, like you mentioned, when in the oak,
the little bit of oak just brings it together,
a little bit more. Yeah. It softens it even more, which is crazy because again, I don't know the proof on these. I'd say they're in the 120s. They may be in the 140s, and that's the beautiful thing about this is how that happens at Corbin Cash. So, David, you're a freaking amazing genius.
Like, I guarantee you the bourbon's got to be over 140s because we had
God, that's so good.
We tested all of them last year, and there wasn't one that was under 145 proof.
So you're likely getting Hazmat 2.0. The question is,
there's a fruit there too. I'm trying to put. Do you remember on the bourbon the fruit note you're getting? There is. I don't know if it's the apricot because we keep talking about that. I don't know what that fruit note is I'm tasting on this, but God dang, it's like vanilla cream and some type of like fruit like syrup or compote on top. I don't know.
You know what I love about Corbin Cash is that I feel like this is the first time in whiskey where my inner wine side just kind of felt connected because it truly is where the different places where you are tasting, whether it's growing the almond side, the rye side, the sweet potato side, like the terroir plays a difference.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you have all these just really natural flavors popping on both the nose and the palate. So I think it's what draws me to just keep coming back to all the different offerings from Corbin Cash. And then I'm not going to lie to you, there's something magical that happens in that Rick House that David and I had to close for an hour and a half on the first night. So we
yeah, we're trying to get to bed early, and the damn hinge broke on the damn door.
Oh, that's right.
He's climbing up on the. I mean, we're pushing and pulling out. It was hysterical. I was like, he goes, these are sides of the distillery that the people don't see. Everybody thinks it's so glamorous, but it's when these things don't work or you're moving barrels and things are heavy and your back hurts. I was like, I'm feeling that right now. I'm feeling that a little bit. So no, it was pretty awesome. But
yeah. So after David left, after you left, David, me and Andy went back because we had to go put all the barrels away. We had left them out. So we went back over there and it was dark and we got them all in and everything was good. And we went to shut the door and it's, the old barn hinges. A couple of the bearings went out and flew apart. And then, but we got it done.
That's what you do. You make it happen, right?
So, all right, Andy, we have got one more.
All right. So let me preface this. This is kind of Ty. Would you mind rinsing that, bud? Thank you.
This one is pure magic.
All right, so here we go. And I'm going to tell you a little story about the magic that's about to happen because I was the first thing I tried was the rye beer distillate. And then after that, I went to the sweet potato and David had a couple barrels out and I was sipping through them. And I tried them and they were glorious. But I told David, I was like, I don't know if this is kind of screaming sweet potato notes at me. I feel like this is just an insanely good whiskey that I would want to share with my friends, and we'd probably sit around a campfire and kill it. But I don't know if it's screaming like sweet potato. And that was the piece that I wanted to bring home. So I'm literally thinking like, okay, they're going to just tear me up if I come back with one. But I did what I felt was right and said, okay, I don't think this is the one. And we're going to come back with a bourbon and a rye and maybe a rye beer. Who knows, right? And David goes, all right, man, there's one more sitting in the distillery I want you to try. It's a little bit different. I think you're going to dig the profile. Let's see what happens. And I said, okay, well, let's do it. But this time I didn't have the ability to kind of pre-test and taste it myself. And the little kind of, there's a little piece of me that if I don't try it first before it goes to the masses, I start to get Todd knows. I get a little antsy, like, what I don't have any control here. I start to get a little worried. And then all of a sudden, everyone else is trying this thing, and I'm like, well, shit, is it really that good? Well, come on, and I'm telling you, Oreo, people went absolutely crazy for this.
Eat right now, but as we get closer, and watch the sugars and all that.
And I could not be more in tune with them. It was that good. I tried this and I was blown away. So this is the sweet potato whiskey liqueur. Wait,
it's not hold on. It's not a liqueur. Wait,
specialty spirit, not liqueur. Specialty spirit.
It's not a liqueur, right, David? That's different.
Specialty spirit, right?
It's a distilled specialty spirit, I guess. You can't call it whiskey because there's no grain in it. So, but it drinks. You know, I kind of compare it to like a rich Armagnac is what it really kind of profiles.
It's just so damn good. Oh, wait till you try this, dude. And this is the winner. This is the one that punched me in the face, kicked me in the nuts, and said, it's going home with you because it's that good. And everybody said, I will also punch you in the face and kick you in the nuts so you don't take it home. It's that damn good.
All right, group. So what did you think, Morgan? What did you think of this? Did you try this, Morgan?
Yeah. No, I remember it tasting like a sweet potato pie, like pumpkin pie kind of esque type deal.
For Christ's sakes. Jesus.
Todd's getting to say, Morgan.
Sorry.
I'll take it off.
Sorry, Morgan.
He's getting happy. I'm sorry.
I just nosed it.
I mean to get you excited.
I mean, what the hell?
Gilbert, what are your thoughts on this? You remember Bread Sweet Potato?
Yeah, it was like definitely like a sweet potato pie. Like it was like Thanksgiving in a glass. Something you could really, especially around fall, late summer, early fall, really enjoy that. After you eat, whatever, it's really good.
Holy shit.
David, what are your thoughts, man?
No, same way. I didn't get, like, when you say sweet potato pie, not to sweeten it. Well, no, it was pretty sweet, but not like, not like the other sweet potato liqueur that's sold, right? That has some sugar and stuff added in. This is like pure distilled spirit, and I really enjoyed it.
Holy.
Yeah, and Anthony actually threatened to beat me up. Anthony, your thoughts on this one?
So, for the people at home that have tried the sweet potato liqueur, know that the sweet potato liqueur has a sweet lavender kind of aspect to it. There's none of that in this spirit. This is a fantastic spirit. If you can imagine sweet potato pie, but with the spices of sweet potato pie amplified to 11, that's what this tastes like. I had to do everything I could to get Andy on board with this. I'm just going to throw that out there.
What's up, Saucy Shane? Cheers, brother. Love to see you, Saucy.
But I'll take it, Anthony. Mark, you tried this too, and I think you actually said the same thing Anthony did. If he doesn't kick your ass, I'll do it if you don't bring this.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. And I agree with Anthony 100%. I was at the 21090 event when David brought the sweet potato liqueur. And that was a lot sweeter, and that was kind of what I was expecting going into it. But, man, this was a perfect balance. I love what David said. It's like an Armagnac because that really does nail the profile. It's got those hints of the spices and the sweet, a little bit of hint of sweetness, but it's not overpowering. It is a beautiful blend.
This may be one of the best spirits I've ever had.
Ooh,
and I'll tell you, it's not. If you're expecting rye, if you're expecting bourbon or Scotch or whatever the hell else, even Armagnac to an extent, this still can stand on its own and is very distinct. Which is probably, David, why they're like it's got to be called a specialty spirit, because it is special. It's different in a sea of kind of conformity. This one just stands out because it's diverse, funky, and fun. I mean, this thing is absolutely killer. And
well, it's funny because when we first started doing it, the younger it is, the more, like in the younger years, because again, this barrel's 8 years old.
Oh, so, Jesus.
They're asking how many years we've been barreling sweet potato. So we'll be releasing a 10-year-old sweet potato barrel this year.
Jeez.
This particular barrel is 8 years old. But it's funny, the younger it is, when you're talking 2 to 5, it's very bourbon-esque. But as you get, the older it gets, the more aromatic it gets, and more of those fruit and sweetness comes out of it, even more so, which is kind of crazy. You get more of those apricot and butterscotch notes. A lot of that has to do with the barrels we're using too. So that particular barrel is, wine grade wood. It's about a $600 barrel. But the grain's really tight in the wood, with a number 4 char. So it's, we get some really good notes out of those.
This has to be released around Thanksgiving.
Well, that is part of my little plan.
I mean, this is the perfect. You pull it out with your family. You have I don't know if you can mix this with things. You don't need to.
It may not be needed to.
It doesn't need to be. No. I don't mix things anyway. But
you don't mix this, you Philistine. That would be terrible.
There you go. I didn't say I'm not saying I do, but people make drinks around the holidays. I'm just saying, Mark, don't crucify me. I'm sorry. Take it all back.
Take it easy, Josh.
Who's Josh? So much for the maturation being
angry elf.
Yeah, it's not so anything less. That's crazy. So if I can't wait for people to try. We're definitely taking this. This is you one. I mean, yeah, you know that, right?
It will have an 8-year age statement on it. So
yeah, we'll have an 8-year age statement.
So the only problem with you saying it's a good Thanksgiving release is that it means you have to wait till freaking November to get it.
No, we want to do it a little bit earlier. My vision,
our vision
out there, my vision collectively with Todd is
fucking guy.
Happy birthday, little fella.
Thanks.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
There is no I in team, buddy.
There is no.
There is a me.
Yeah.
And I'd be very transparent on this. I think. Well, I've told you about this.
Yeah. No.
Our collective vision with this would be a Corbin Cash collection where there are 2 opportunities to buy 2 sets of Corbin Cash simultaneously based around the season and the release itself. So we're looking at bourbon and rye together, and then the sweet potato either standalone or possibly maybe with his friend, the rye distillate, where you can have an opportunity to pick up one or both. But we want to be able to offer the people a chance to really just kind of experience Corbin Cash, like whatever you want. Here's your kind of a la carte or together, pick them, because people should know about them.
Agreed.
I think that the more people that get on board with distilleries that are outside of the bluegrass state, not all, but not the big boys, the macros that are seeing some of the amazing things happening across the country. If we can bring that to light in any small form, we want to do it. And so I think a little Corbin Cash collection would be just a killer way to do that. And I think these are great fall releases. So I don't want to wait until November. I want these to be on your table, sharing with your friends and family around Thanksgiving. So I want them to already have been purchased and hopefully not completely consumed like Todd does when he has a bottle. So it's good, isn't it?
I'm trying to pull. I mean, that is.
Tell me that if this went to if you brought a tailgate, this wouldn't be gone.
Oh, it'd be gone in a second.
Half a second, we'd be done.
And that's without him sharing it with anybody.
That's without me sharing it.
His liver
Here's
hurts.
the good thing. We're going to try to do, David, hopefully we can get you out here again to do another event. We've got some ideas right locally to do something this summer that maybe you can try some of these.
Correct. So we and David will talk to you online. We'd love to put you on the spot with things.
Yeah. Sure.
I would have given you a heads up.
I'm down to come back out. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Figure out the time.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to give you some ideas because we have a potential idea for taking, like everything we had last year, the rye and the bourbon, just kicking it up a notch. We have an idea for kicking things up a notch for kind of another way.
So if you're local or want to travel to Baltimore this summer,
I think we may have something for you.
It might make it worth your while to do that because we're going to be hopefully previewing a lot of these things.
We got some ideas for you. But look, here's the Corbin Cash collection, which
I want to ask something.
Go ahead.
To our guests, thank you again for coming out and hanging out with Andy and David and trying these. I'm curious if you had to pick one that resonated the most.
Put you on the spot,
and I'll go first.
because Todd likes to make sure that he.
All right, I'll go last.
First. No, you go first, there, little fella. It's your birthday.
I will say this.
You're 62.
I will say this. That sweet potato did resonate with me quite well. I will still say that bourbon is still pretty amazing. But the sweet potato distillate is to me the one that shocked me the most. And you tried other ones that you didn't get that flavor profile, but
not this. Like that's the thing. Like I like so when I talked to David, it's like they're going to kill me, but I don't think I can. I don't think they're that profile that they're looking for. Not that the whiskey wasn't fantastic. Turn that way if you're going to burp on me.
Just go.
Thank you. It's. I think the. You really scared me because that was bad. That pulled pork, whatever the hell you ate, was awful.
I didn't do anything.
I know, but you killed me twice already, and I don't want a third time.
What are you going on here? Come on.
I got nervous. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway.
What were you saying?
I was saying that I was worried I wasn't going to come back with one.
No.
And then everyone was going to be really pissed off. I went out there in the whole 9 yards. But when I tried this, I was just like, holy hell. Now, that being said,
what's your favorite?
Since you went first, and we're going to know my favorite, there is something about that rye.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get that rye.
Oh my God, guys, when you try this thing, I mean, the hazmat is better than last year's hazmat. The rye is better than last year's rye. Last year's rye and last year's hazmat are two of my favorite of the entire year. So if that just, and from an unbiased or a biased lens, I should say, I mean, it's just absolutely killer. So you're saying the rye. I'm going to say the sweet potato, whatever that is, spirit. Second, the bourbon behind it. And I'm a rye guy. All right, well, let's go on. Gilbert, what was your favorite?
Hey, it's close. It's close. They're all great. But between the bourbon and rye, they were the top two. I'd say probably bourbon was my favorite.
There it is.
Okay.
Bourbon.
Fair enough.
I like it.
Morgan, what say you?
I'd have to, like, the hard part is, like, I like to do both the rye and the bourbon side by side because they're such great contrasts.
They are.
Agreed.
So it's fun to go, like, back and forth because, like, the bourbon can, like, nice, sweet, fruity flavors, and the rye's got the spicy, unique rye flavors. So it's like, it's fun that way. But like the other ones, the rye beer one, the sweet potato, like those are just like such fun bottles to like bring to bottle shares, and like an experience pour where like it has a cool story behind it, like still like a like spirit, I guess.
Yeah,
it's just so unique that like great conversation piece, delicious, like.
Love it.
I like them all.
Yeah, that's a great answer, and I agree with 100%. David, we're going to switch to David Souza real fast just before we get to everybody else with their answer. Can you answer that question? Corey has a great question. Does the sweet potato have a similar Angel's share loss when it's 8 years old as a typical bourbon rye?
It does, but not so because of those barrels being so well made. The Angel share isn't quite as heavy as some of our other whiskey barrels, but it's a very similar loss. Some of our rye barrels, they tend to have a little more, a little bit more seepage, where these wine, the wine wood that we use is so dense. We get hardly any leaks. So the Angel share is very similar, but we don't get any real leaks in those barrels. So the losses aren't quite as heavy, which is thankful because the barrel costs almost twice as much as a regular whiskey barrel. So.
Jesus.
Yeah,
God.
But man, is that good. All right, so Morgan, you've gone, and Gilbert's gone. David, what are your thoughts? What was your favorite? What stood out to you?
No, it's a tough one to pick between the rye and the bourbon. But for uniqueness, I'd say the sweet potato spirit was.
Yeah, there you go. I agree.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's a good call. And Anthony, what say you, Master Yoda?
I love that sweet potato spirit. Yep. I think it has to exist. It has to be available to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I threatened bodily violence. It was very important that I do so because I need to have it on the West Coast or on the East Coast.
Yeah.
However, the rye really does stand out. However, I do want to put a shout out. So David Souza did give us a sampling of what I would personally call a rye. How do I say this? A rye agricole. You should talk to David Souza about the rye agricole to finish off the discussion. But anyways, the rye is the best of the bunch.
All right, fair enough. And Mark, how about you, man? What was your favorite?
I'll caveat this by saying I'm buying one of each.
Okay, there you go. I love that.
That said, the sweet potato was a revelation, but I've got to go with the rye.
Ooh, wow.
There you go. There we go.
And you're not a rye guy. You're not a rye guy.
I'm not. I told David flat out he's going to turn me into a rye guy, and I mean, we even nicknamed it. It's just freaking amazing.
Yep, I think it's a fantastic answer, and I'm with you on that. And I will. I'm going to say this right now. If you go to corbincash.com, someone could put David's information in there because you. Correct. Maybe I'm screwing this up, but
you might be.
Probably
are.
Certain things you can ship.
Certainly,
the gin. If you guys are not into gin,
I'm not.
And you can get your hands on a bottle of Corbin Cash gin. That goes for you too.
Yeah, I'm not a big gin fan. But I didn't like rum until I tried old
so bloody good. I mean, really, everything coming out of there is just unbelievable. So, but that gin, I had a lot of the guys try the gin straight, and they really enjoyed it. So,
I'm curious, people in the chat, which one are you most excited for? If we do all four, which we're doing at least three, the question is, are we doing the beer mash? But the rye, the bourbon, or the sweet potato, which one are you most excited about? I'm curious what the chat says. What's it? As we wrap things up for tonight.
The what say you?
Yeah.
By three, you mean all four, right? Yes, we're working on it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm
the only one that could hold this up, honestly, is Todd. Because Jay and everybody else, it's Todd.
Oh, well, then it's not me at all.
No, it's definitely Todd.
I'm down for it. I'm not paying
for it. You know what I was thinking, too, while we're talking about that rye beer is maybe I'll bottle that in 375 since there's not a lot of it.
Oh,
but we can spread it out a little bit.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I love that.
And then you're not stuck buying a big old 750 of it.
I love that.
That'd be great.
That's fantastic.
I mean, I'll take a 750, but you know,
yes.
Hey.
So you guys can buy multiple.
I mean, I'll buy
we
two
won't
of them.
Put multiples on that, so you guys don't get mad. All right, so Chris B, sweet potato and rye.
All right, Chris.
Then we've got Dave,
bourbon, rye, and sweet potato.
Diamond Dave, who we'll see next week.
Dave.
Bourbon, rye, and sweet potatoes. Or Tim Cornell will see next week.
Tim Cornell, you'll see next week.
Let me see. Terry Powers says
rye, sweet potato, bourbon in that order. Okay.
Candy Road.
Bourbon,
be seeing soon.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
bourbon, sweet potato.
Oh yeah, Tim Cornet and Gandy Road, guys. Our Evernorth pick is next Tuesday, and on the pick team, Gandy and Tim Cornet will be at Evernorth with the Bourbon Junkies picking a awesome barrel. Right?
I am going to be going to Detroit for the first time in my life, and I have never been more excited to go to Detroit for the first time.
I'm so sorry
in my life because I've heard nothing but good things about Detroit.
Hey, you know what? There's a really good sushi place on the A terminal of Detroit Airport.
I'm sure that's what Andy wants to hear right now.
I'm going to say that. Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious. It's like by gate A34.
Okay, there's a gate number, Andy.
When I was a Delta guy, I flew through there, and that was like the highlight of my trip was that sushi place. Because then I got the heck out of Detroit and got another plane.
All right, because I mean, look, the land of the lakes, 1,000 lakes. I guess it could have some decent.
Michigan?
Yeah, it's walleye
sushi. Yeah.
I thought that was Minnesota.
They all share common lakes. Todd.
They're all the same. They're all Twix.
They're all Twix. What the hell, dude?
I don't know. You act like you know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I've been to Michigan like once, but anyway.
Real quick, the bigger difference between the rye or bourbon versus the last really, that's a great question.
I personally, I think it's the bourbon, only because the oak presence.
I agree with that.
I think the bourbon is going to surprise some people because I feel like The only thing that wasn't as prominent on, I think the rye is big brother and little brother, and they both are pretty.
That's probably
pretty
a fair point. That's a fair point.
I think the bourbons, the 9-year, just has a little bit more oak presence that really kind of lets you know its age.
Yes,
without the proof knocking you out. So it's a
great question, Kraken.
That would be my answer to that.
Selfishly, I'm excited for all three because maybe there's 4, by the way. Means I have more Corbin Cash releases to drink. That's true. Kathy says, sorry, good.
It's all right.
Sweet potatoes.
That's Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, it's Kathy. Yeah. Mark's better half. Well done. She's watching on Facebook, guys. We do go live.
Oh, wow. Look at there.
Mark is a lucky man. Kathy is just a ray of sunshine.
You know what we did not talk about tonight real quick is Vegas.
No, we're gonna talk about it. Don't worry. Mark's not going anywhere. He's not allowed to go anywhere.
Before we wrap up,
Mark's got to stay on for a couple more minutes with David so we can talk
more
about
next,
Vegas.
David. We only have a few more minutes, but we'll talk about Vegas.
If Kathy wants to join you in the studio, Mark, if she's brave enough, tell her to come on down and hang out.
Yeah, she can come on down.
All about the sweet potato, rye, and then bourbon. I think that's a good 3 for right there. Tim Cornet. Oh, Detroit's pretty cool. Yes, he's sticking up for his Detroit.
Yeah, well, we're not going to Detroit though. We're going to where? Outside of
South.
Flint?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, around there.
I'm bringing bottled water.
You're not going to Flint.
Yeah, he's going past Flint.
I'm just kidding. Michigan is supposed to be wonderful. I've always said I want to go to Michigan. What? You think it sound like I'm being sarcastic? I'm not always sarcastic.
Totally sarcastic.
Actually, no, I do want to. No, this is a side. I don't want to go to Detroit, but I have heard Traverse City is like absolutely no. Locals say Traverse.
You're not traversing a mountain. Traverse City.
The locals say it that way. Out of towners don't.
Okay, it's Traverse City.
Shut up, Richard.
It's Josh, Andy.
I want to go to Traverse City. I really do. I hear it's absolutely beautiful. And
all right, let's talk about Vegas. One thing. So, Mark, you and your lovely wife and David and Andy were in Vegas for the weekend 2 weekends ago. I'm curious, what was the highlight of that trip for you, Mark?
Before we do that, hold on one second.
Okay.
To the pick team or to the guys who came out.
Sure.
Morgan and Anthony,
Gilbert,
Gilbert, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It meant so much to us to have you guys out there. I hope you all had as much fun as we did being out there. I mean, I thought it was a blast.
Should we do this every year?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I told my wife, I was like, even if we don't pick, I'm going out to Atwater. And when I was having dinner with David and his wife Susie, she's like, you know what? He talks like he had fun like going out there, and he'll probably just go out and visit anyway. So I think we're just gonna once a year we're just gonna go hang out. So whether we bring a barrel back or not, I go back. No, Josh.
No, Josh.
You had your chance. you had. Of course you can come. I would love to have you come out. It would be fun.
Are these going? Yes, these will be going all through Shared Port. Yes,
yeah, so they'll be going through Shared Port. But guys, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed hanging out. I personally really had. It was Corey, it was really nice to meet you all. You guys are just as cool as I would have imagined, and hopefully I was as big of a stick in the mud as Todd makes me out to be.
Will you be in the LP?
What? I don't know. What the hell's LP?
I don't know. Lower Peninsula?
I don't know. LP stands for a lot of things.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of Michigan. We were talking about Michigan. Show me the proof. We'll be at Evernorth. That's the Lower Peninsula. Thank you, Pick Team. Yes, thank you, Pick Team, for sure. They were out there having fun. So, the bourbon pick is easily a top 3 bottle selections. I had 141 proof stag pick. That's awesome, Ernest. Well, wait till you try this new bourbon.
You're going to be blown away. Anyway, last words. Morgan, anything you want to say about your experience at Corbin Cash and hanging out?
And how's that 155? What's that proof what's that barrel you got?
I can't wait for that.
What was the barrel you
got it yet, but it's
coming. Yeah, it's on the way still. We're still getting figured out.
It's a unicorn
that you
won't.
Details on it.
All right.
It's a unicorn you'll never see. But other than that, what did Morgan? What were your overall thoughts, the experience? You have a good time? You can always say yes.
The Atwater. I've been there a couple of times already.
That's awesome. So cool.
But it's just super fun. It's nice to hang out with David, shoot the shit with him, and just get all the dorky details on it. Like I love stuff. So,
were you disappointed that Josh wasn't there?
yeah.
He said no. It was a pause, and it means no. He wasn't really disappointed. He had a good time, Andy.
Okay, no, just checking because
Morgan, we'd love to try that single barrel that you acquired, or figure out how we can buy a bottle. Just let us know.
we'll talk offline. Don't worry about that. Morgan's got plans for that.
I know.
You're not in those.
Oh, okay. Well, then
thank you, Morgan. Appreciate
screw you and screw Morgan.
David, your thoughts? Also great chatting with you. We had a lot of good rock conversation. By the way, David and I talked some serious rock and roll for a long time before the last part of the evening where David, Susan, and I had to go put the barrels away and have that little experiment. But yeah, look, David's a rock guy. We had some great rock conversations. We had a good time. But did you have a good time, David? Hopefully you enjoyed yourself out there.
Oh no, absolutely. Greatly appreciate the invite. And I'm glad I missed being trapped in there, by the way.
Nice. It was actually more fun than I thought. And, until it wasn't.
Until it was. Until you couldn't really figure it out.
Cold and tired and wanted to go home and a little bit drunk. It was all right. But no, it was nice to meet you, brother. Honestly,
that's awesome.
We had a great
Same
time.
here. No, thanks for, like I said, thanks for the invite. Anytime.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. Gilbert, what say you, buddy? Do you have a good time out there?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, we should try to do this, a couple times a year here at Corbin Cash. I mean, it's a benefit for me too because I'm close, so I'll be seeing David a lot, and especially with the local group and all that. Already saw him last weekend again, so can't go wrong with Corbin Cash. Like I said, I try to tell everyone about it. They're great, and meeting all you guys and doing it with all these guys and his family, it was great.
Keep spreading the word. Were you also disappointed that Josh wasn't there?
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I thought Josh was coming out to, meet him too, but
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of
We'll see.
I'm coming.
I won't ask Anthony the same question. Anthony, were you upset that Josh wasn't there? Andy's going back out again. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we're paying for two.
All I gotta say is that my friend Josh came out. I'm just gonna throw it out there that he attended. That the other Josh attended, but
Anthony came out.
Had a great experience. The pizza was fantastic.
Pizza.
You didn't talk about the pizza?
No, I didn't hear about pizza.
Goodness.
Pizza was good.
If I can come back out again, I would be overjoyed. It was great experience.
Well, so, Anthony, your friend lives in Atwater?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he's literally in Atwater.
That's
small
hilarious.
World, right?
Small world, man.
Isn't that crazy? He lives literally like 15 miles from us, David. And when we said we were doing this, he's like, I think I'm going to go. I'm like, really? It's like across the country. He's like, well, I have a friend that lives in Atwater. I'm like, bullshit. He's like, no, I do. And sure enough, he did.
So
that is Dame Josh. Coincidentally,
that's funny.
That's perfect.
You guys see that amazing? Oh, that's good. Kathy.
Kathy's one. I was about to bring that up again just to talk to you about it. But anyway, Anthony, Gilbert, Morgan, and David, thank you all.
You guys rock.
You guys are the best. We're gonna put you in the basement for a second just so we can talk to Mark for a little bit about Vegas. But we love you guys. Appreciate it. And honestly, it was my pleasure meeting you all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting Todd and I. We can't thank you enough. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right, cheers, guys. We'll see you around, and when these picks come out, let's
come. We'll have you back on again soon.
Heck yeah.
Cheers.
No doubt.
All
so
right.
Vegas, then, Andy. This is the wrap up. The final 5 minutes of the show. After all this wonderfulness at Corbin Cash, and David and Kathy and Mark went to Vegas.
And I gotta say, before we go any further, Kathy says she doesn't want to go on stream. Fair enough, but I will say this: both of them are just two of the kindest and genuinely just nice people that I have met in a long time. Look, there is a danger when we planned this, where we're like.
Yeah,
who the hell knows? Like who's gonna win this? It could be someone who's a frat boy that wants to drink themselves blind and be kind of crazy. It could be someone who doesn't like whiskey. It could be someone who knows what you're good. So when Mark and Kathy ended up becoming the winners of this, I don't think that we could have asked for a better duo to come out because they were just absolutely wonderful. And so. We had a wonderful time. I think I speak for David too. We had a great time with you guys. But Mark, tell us a little bit about your time in Vegas. Give us your overview. What'd you think about being the big winner?
Dude, it was amazing. I was telling Todd when I saw him at Old Line last month. I was watching the little Wheel of Fortune go around, and I'm like, "Where is my name? There's so many wedges." And then it go ting 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 ting. I'm like, "What? Holy crap! I won!" I never win anything. It's amazing. But I was really excited because I just think you guys have a great vibe and a wonderful group, and I've had such a great time just participating in it and going out to Vegas, especially with David being there. It was so cool.
That's great.
Everything we did out there was amazing. We had such a fun time. It was, honestly, I kind of had the same worry that you guys did. Like, wow, what if we don't hit it off with these guys? What if it's all awkward and we're stuck there at dinner talking to these guys and it's like we're all looking around or playing on our phones? Like, is this over yet?
Oh no, that didn't happen. I hope.
No, dude, so the dinner we had at Carver Steak at the Resort World.
Oh, it was so good.
Where's the pictures of that, Andy?
Freaking amazing. But I tell you what, the funny thing was they're really fastidious about filling up your water. And we got done eating and we paid the check and they finally stopped filling up our water because they were like, will these people ever freaking leave? Because we just sat there for like another hour and a half and just talked and we just it was just natural conversation. We had such a great time. We got to know each other and it was just fun. Everything we did was fun and it was just no pressure. It was no awkwardness. I mean, we were sitting up in Andy's room drinking whiskey and we had a great time. It was just a blast.
Yeah, that was a kicker. Like, is that going to be the weird thing if we're all up in my room drinking together? But it was awesome. I mean, we had a great time.
I just enjoyed dinner, man. The conversation, talking to you and Kathy and getting to know you is like, I felt like I knew you guys for 20 years.
That's awesome.
Agreed.
That's so cool.
It was awesome. And then none of us are deadheads, but but pleasant. Like I told you, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And glad you picked it because up until the end, it was a great show.
What was the end?
Well,
it's probably because you both contact high.
What Dave means by up until the end is there was no end. At some point, we realized that the show was.
And you guys probably were hungry because you were in the sphere with all those deadheads smoking pot. You were like, you know what? I could go for some Doritos and Taco Bell.
That's pretty darn close to it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you went to In-N-Out Burger, right? That makes sense.
Well, tell that story because honestly, we were so well. Actually, I can help you with this one,
please.
I don't
remember any of it.
When I'm in the night that we had the event in Corbin Cache, David's taking me back to my hotel in Merced, and he goes, "Dude, you haven't eaten all day. Are you hungry?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good. Let's just go back to the room." And he goes, In-N-Out Burger's right here. I was like, no, that's I'm fine. He goes, have you had In-N-Out before? I said, no. And he goes, well, it's really good and you should have it. I said, hey, I'm fine, man. It's a fast food burger, whatever. I'm good. Let's keep rolling. And so I went back to the hotel. And then as soon as we're at dinner with Kathy and Mark, David and Kathy and Mark all of a sudden had this bond that I felt like the kid that was just kind of picked last for a team. Like they're talking about In-N-Out Burger like it is the greatest thing in the world. I was like, oh, well, I've never really tried it. So oh no, you got to have it. It's fantastic. But I hadn't had it. So after the Dead show, we go back to we get an Uber and Dave was like, let's go to Herbs and Rye. It's like one of the most famous whiskey bars off the strip. And it just so happened that night they had a private event and we couldn't get in.
Oh, God. Of course.
So the three of them look at each other almost like in unison and say, In-N-Out Burger, In-N-Out Burger, In-N-Out Burger. They're all In-N-Out Burger. So I was like, well, shit, I guess I got to try it now.
And how good was that In-N-Out Burger, Andy?
It was a damn good burger. It was actually really good. Look, they throw like potatoes while you're there watching, like toss them into this like machine that cuts them into the fries. You see them throwing the actual potatoes.
It's like a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's like dinner and a movie.
Potatoes.
It's pretty crazy. It was actually really freaking
Anthony,
good.
stay around. We'll be there in a second. He went to the Inner Burger when he was in Cali, so he went.
So I had not had that experience before, but I did now, and it was.
Well, let me ask you my question about the Dead concert. So you're there. None of you guys are huge Dead heads.
Nope.
No.
Did it sound like
I was worried I wasn't gonna I wasn't looking forward to going, to be honest. And then when I found out that Mark and Kathy weren't Deadheads, I was like, okay, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
They just wanted to experience the Sphere, which I had
pretty
done
much.
I saw the Eagles there a month ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was, but yeah, it's like, okay, I saw a band that I would have never listened to in my life, and it was pretty awesome. So
did it sound like one long song though?
Not the first half.
No.
The first half was great. It was like
Yeah, John
second half,
Mayer's
though,
in the
you're
band, right? John Mayer's in the band, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't know that until like David.
You didn't know? You didn't know?
That's
I'm
John
like,
Mayer. That's John
We had
Mayer.
no idea. It's like
I
John
would Google
Mayer.
it. I was like, that sounds like John Mayer, and I'm like on the Google.
That
and then
is
my
John
wife-
Mayer.
Yeah. But up until that drum solo, the show was great. The music was great.
How long was the drum solo?
Oh my god!
Oh, it was forever. It was the intermission.
It
was
really,
intermission.
It really did.
But that was like what 2 hours in.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because the Sphere technically is a non-smoking venue, but it's
No,
like watching.
get out of here.
You're looking at the stage, and there's like
smoke.
puffs of smoke going up all over the place.
Technically is the answer.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
So,
But,
by the way,
and
that's the steakhouse that we were at.
Oh,
So
look at you guys. Clean up nice.
We got all dressed up and did our
Look
thing.
at that. Love it.
And had a
Really
phenomenal
nice.
wine at dinner.
Oh,
We did not drink
man,
whiskey.
that
but
wine
the
was good.
No, we had
The wine
wine.
was
The
delicious.
sommelier comes over.
Yeah, so
And-
that's a great question. Did you guys recognize any songs? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Long answer or short answer is no.
I didn't think so.
No.
They didn't play Touch of Grey. They didn't play.
How did they not pay Touch of Grey?
Their set list is different every night.
They didn't.
Every night they had played the night before,
I will get.
so I knew they were going to play it. Then now,
That sucks.
sidebar on that, Brian Treacy is texting me every time a new song comes on. He's like, "Oh, they're playing All In. Oh, they're playing this. Oh, they're playing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "I don't know what these songs
I don't know what these songs are.
Now, the first half of like the first 4 hours of the Sphere when the Dead were playing, like you could actually hear the music. The second like 32 hours, it started to really blend and kind of come together. So
It was all one long song at that point.
Yeah.
we did leave about a half hour early, full transparency, so we could get
I
to
applaud you
Urgent
for
Rye.
going in that long. I mean, that's what you probably were 2.5 hours in, weren't you?
Okay, I got to one last story
That's
about that. So I had one last story. Everybody in that entire place somehow slipped a doobie through.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
You guys,
all,
you guys were the only ones that did.
they're all lighting up. Yet there's a metal detector, and I walked through and randomly, sir, you have been randomly like, oh,
That's
back at the
because-
airport,
Because
people.
you look like the person that would slip something in, Andy.
He was the
It's like-
only one who got ganked
The
the entire.
only one who got-
It was hilarious,
I said,
and he was the only one who
"Boo,
he didn't have a
cry."
doobie at all. It's like,
Boo, don't
oh,
cry.
Boo, don't cry.
Boo, don't cry.
So I was randomly selected. I was like, yeah, random, sure, no problem at all.
Oh,
So,
here's a great question: who picked the wine, Andy or David?
no, the sommelier picked it.
Oh, jeez, you guys were at a fancy restaurant then.
Yeah, we were.
It was a fancy restaurant.
it
we
was
were.
nice.
Well, we let her recommend it, and then I ultimately picked it.
All right.
It was good. Yeah,
It
she
was very
gave
good.
us some good recommendations. The first
It was a week left.
I would have taken the first recommendation, but it was about $1,200 bottle of wine. I'm like,
Oh,
I
jeez.
don't think I want to
Yeah.
She said, you might like this one.
$1,200. I don't like it. I think like a tenth of that. Kraken was in Vegas last weekend. Stayed at the Sphere. Had no idea the concert was going on. My country wife had us at Blake Shelton, and I'd rather go to that. Tell you the truth, to be that even better concert. But that's just me.
But
Missed it by a week.
I will say this: the Sphere itself, like watching the show go on, is just like nothing you've ever seen before. It really
No,
was.
it's
cool.
amazing.
And it was no different with the Dead. Like they had some really cool backdrops
dude,
that were
right
going on all at the same
Bring
time.
Anthony up. Anthony, just hang out with us. You're still there. Come on, hang with us. Right? He can.
Oh, Josh, that was nice of you. That was very nice of you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I mean, it was just really it was a cool experience. That's right. That's right. Okay, Kathy said. So what did you guys say?
Chocolate?
It was either, I think it was maybe Kathy's like something like jammy and chocolatey. And, jammy and chocolate. Well, I got just the thing. This girl came out. She's like, I got just the thing. And we're like, yeah, whatever.
Damn if it didn't.
It was so good.
It was so good.
The wine was fantastic.
David, what restaurant were you guys at? Where was it?
It's called Carver Steak. It was at our hotel at the Resorts World. So
it was really nice.
By the way, it was on the Venetian.
Hotel was
3 weeks. What's at the Venetian? What's a good place in the Venetian?
To eat?
Yeah. Or drink. Where should I go to drink a whiskey after work for 12 hours?
Go to Herbs and Rye though. Try and get in.
Try to get in.
Go to Herbs and Rye.
So I just tried to make a reservation at Herbs and Rye because I'm going back to the AC/DC concert in April 26th.
He's going to see.
When are you going?
April 26th. I got front.
I'll be there. I will be there. I'll be in Vegas the 26th.
Really?
Oh, I see how it is. You go on the 26th.
26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'm there that weekend. That whole weekend I'm there.
Dude, you're finally going to be able
to get. Are you going to AC/DC?
I didn't know they were playing, but I want to now.
Get a ticket.
I'm going for our annual meeting. It's a bunch of. If you need a urologist, David, you're in the right city because
you're
every urologist
out the back in black. He's going to be measuring penises.
Every urologist in the world is in Vegas that weekend, and I'm there.
This must be where all the dicks.
All right, David, I'll text you. I'm there. I'm there Friday to Monday.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be there Friday to Sunday.
All right. Well, maybe Saturday one night we can have a drink or something.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Todd. We went to the last night we were there Sunday night after those guys had left. Yeah. We risked our lives and went to Circus. Even though that place is an absolute dump.
Yeah.
The steak. There's a place in there called The Steakhouse, and it's a local favorite.
Yep.
And it was. I mean, it was on par with Carver Steak. It was phenomenal.
Well, I'm eating on the company, so it doesn't matter price wise. So I'll go wherever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If you name yourself The Steakhouse, you should have good steak.
You should.
And they had great steaks.
It just kind of makes sense.
Awesome.
All mesquite fired right there while you watch. A good wine list.
So AC/DC's playing out. David, where's AC/DC playing that weekend?
Allegiant.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be legit.
What night are you
crazy.
going to see them?
It's Saturday. So I happened to get. It's funny. I was getting tickets for Corbin. It's his first rock concert.
That was my first concert too in 1993.
And
you're 62.
I ended up getting front row. Like we're right in the front.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Cool. All right. Well, so you're with your kid. Okay, I get it. That's fine. I don't. I got it.
Well, you can join us. Get a GA ticket.
I will. I'll have to figure. You're going Saturday night.
Yeah, they're only playing one night. As far as
all right. Shit, I will. I'll look at that tonight.
The tickets are only $1,800.
That's true. Whatever.
How much?
I'm going to expense it on 21090. This is now a business expense, Andy. This is a business expense.
And there goes the petty cash.
There goes the petty cash.
Go for it. David, am I allowed to?
What is that?
Just tell me no. Am I allowed to talk about?
Oh my God,
the Venetian.
Are you doing something you're not supposed to? That's where I'll be. I'll be at the Venetian.
The Venetian.
Yeah.
Your meeting you had. No, you're probably not allowed to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I probably wouldn't go there just yet.
Okay, all right. I was gonna. All right,
no,
so I won't say anything about that. That's fine then, because that was fun. All right, no, I won't. But yeah, if you're out there, Todd, you should go to.
Yeah, we'll figure out something out, David. I'd love to just have to say hi.
We'll grab a drink. So I'll be out there. My wife and her sister go. I'm taking Corbin and his my wife's niece and nephew but yeah, I can get away.
I'm there Friday through Monday. So
by the way, Kathy, you're referring so next to the where Herbs and Rye is. If you do go out there. What? It's a little different. It's definitely off the beaten path, and it's funny
sold
thing
out
is,
already for April.
Are you kidding?
It's crazy, but everything around it does not scream like you should be in like this area where you're going to be enjoying stuff. So Kathy's laughing at me because next to it there was a place called the Goat Sports Bar.
Yeah.
And so I said, "All right, well, let's go there." And we walked up to it, and all of us were afraid to open the door. It looked so sketchy. And don't want to offend Kathy saying this. It's almost like if you're like an 18-year-old kid, like you're going to like an adult club you're not supposed to for like the first time, like because your friends bring you like, I don't want to open the door, I'm embarrassed, I can't do it. And they're all daring you to go to the door. Well, they all kind of dare me to go to open the door because it's like, it's how bad can it be? I opened the door, and as soon as I heard everything coming out of it and saw the clientele, I just closed it. I was like, in and out it is. Let's go in and out. We're fine. We just got out to the left and we're like, done. We're gone. Good, huh? We're out. So it was pretty funny.
But to give you guys an idea, that's how. So the goat is kind of how Herbs and Rye looked when I first discovered it. Like there was no paint on the building, there was no sign. It was just a gray building with a red door, and that was kind of the cool appeal to it. Was you just didn't know what, and then you opened it up, and then you guys walked in. It's like an old English speakeasy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But not only are the cocktails amazing, the food is also amazing. So you got to get a reservation a month in advance, or you have to wait like 2 a.m. like they told us, because they're open till 3. So
yeah.
But we did get In-N-Out Burger, so it all worked out. I'm now part of actually, you know what, Todd, you've never had In-N-Out Burger, have you?
Yes, I have. Oh yeah. Whenever I go out the West Coast.
You've gone there?
Yes.
You do like fast food.
I do like fast food.
Todd loves fast food.
I mean, Andy, how have you not had an In-N-Out Burger?
Well, I hadn't.
He has now.
I have
now.
That's true. And I'm glad. But I was like, guys, I don't like onions.
Oh God!
Like,
I don't like
for
onions.
you few people that won't eat onions, you can order
I can get a ticket right now
it's
for $180. I'm in the nosebleeds, but I can get a $180 ticket.
Buy the ticket.
I'm going to, David. I think I'm buying a ticket to AC/DC.
Yeah,
dude, you should freaking go. I can't believe you're gonna be out there with AC/DC.
I didn't know I was doing that either. But what time's the concert?
I think starts at 7:30 or 8.
But that's when they don't go on it. Yeah, 7 o'clock. I don't even know it was open. But, yeah.
Are you allowed to stay out that late?
I work till 7, but it's all good. We'll figure it out. Yes.
You work till 7.
Yeah, 7 to 7, Andy. It's a long day.
How many penises do you have to measure?
There's a lot, Andy. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Good Lord Almighty.
There's a lot. Anyway, that's awesome. I love that David's going to be out there.
Oh, man. Hey, Josh. I'm sorry, Todd.
Yes.
Corey's Wine and Spirits. You got to check him out when you're in Vegas.
All right.
For barrel picks.
Okay. Off the beaten path, or where are we going for that?
Off the beaten path a little bit, but not too far from Paradise, which is
all right.
Las Vegas.
Just text me.
Are you getting a rental car?
No, not at all.
So he would have to Uber. He will not be going there. I know Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll Uber.
He's not going.
Oh, is it that far?
Well, you're not going to go off the beaten path.
How far off the beaten path?
Not that far, but it's
you get scared.
Yeah, I'm not going like 20 miles outside of
he
Vegas.
Gets scared.
10 miles out of
It's
Vegas.
not outside of Vegas. It's just off
Paradise is like where the Hard Rock used to be. But
oh, you know the Hard Rock. Okay, here's a story about the Hard Rock. Okay, I'm gonna say this.
What did I do there?
We went to the Hard Rock Cafe.
What did I do?
This is probably 15 years ago. We're the Hard Rock Cafe.
Longer than that.
Maybe longer than that. Okay, maybe 20 years ago, right?
First marriage.
Okay, so yes, it is your first, not mine, yours.
Before that first marriage.
Yes. Well, I was married because,
but I wasn't.
We're at the bar at the Pink Taco, and I did someone challenged me to a little chugging race with a beer, so I said fine. I was young, in my 20s, I'm allowed to do that.
It's just when you threw up on the bar.
I may have had a little bit come back up.
He threw up right on the bar.
No, just a little bit. And then I went to the bathroom. My brother laughed at me and followed me to the bathroom so the rest could come back out. And
why are you telling a story?
Because when I come back to the bar, my wife texts me and goes, "You threw up at the bar? What are you doing? How immature can you possibly be?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, Todd texted me and told me you threw."
I don't think I did.
Yes, you most certainly
I don't
did.
think I was on that trip with you.
You were on the trip with me.
I don't think so. The only trip I went to Vegas with you was with Leo, my brother, and John.
Yes, we went there.
Oh, I don't remember doing that.
Of course you don't remember doing it. You were just as bad as I was. But he texted my wife and told her.
I don't remember doing that. I don't think that was me. I think it's fake news
It's not fake news.
I'm pretty sure it's fake news.
I can call my wife now and confirm it.
I did not go with you on that trip because I didn't go with Tony that trip.
You did.
I was with you, Leo, my brother, and John.
Todd,
your brother was not there.
My wife will confirm.
I
Do you want to argue with my wife?
Not really, but I will if I have to. I don't want to.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. All right, enough of this.
So just be careful.
All right, so me and David are hanging out in Vegas at the end of the month. That's awesome.
No, that'll be fun. I'm happy for you. If you go see AC/DC, I'm jealous.
I'm gonna go look at tickets when we get off of this. There.
So you should really go.
I know I should.
Wait, when is it? April what?
April 26th, 7th, 26th. They're playing.
I wonder if I can find an appointment out there.
Could you?
I can look into it. I can look into it.
I mean, get 2 twin dongs.
I like that.
It's urology.
Double the measure.
I got a free hotel stay in.
It's gonna be like college days or
college days.
Bunk beds.
We had bunk beds in college. I was how come I was on the top bunk, by the way?
They probably have bunk bedrooms at Circus.
If it broke, you'd be happy you were
true.
on the top.
Andy went to Maryland for like a semester, and all he did was get free tickets to the basketball team. He went to class for maybe 3 weeks.
Well, I had a rough first experience there. I don't want to talk about it, but it was bad, and I got stung by bees. Yeah.
We were living off campus by like a road, and Andy didn't. It was too big for Andy. I feel like College Park is Mark. It's a huge campus. Yep. He came from Elon. He transferred. And
I went back to Elon.
He went back to Elon. It was too big for him.
But the games were fun.
He got free tickets.
I got tickets.
It was awkward going to your dad for the rent check for the next semester. That was really awkward. It was really awkward.
Well, I think we've talked enough.
We have. All right. We'll be live sometime next week. We don't know when. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see. But either way, next week I will be in Michigan.
Evernorth pick.
In Michigan. We're going to be doing a pick
Bourbon Junkies.
Evernorth with the Junkies. I am a little worried about that.
Why?
Well, they always say you get nervous when you meet your idols.
Oh, they're your idols, aren't they?
Well, no, they are.
Oh, that's
we
true.
are their idols.
That's true.
Because I know they're really nervous about the other channel on Tuesday nights has been kind of killing their ratings.
That's true. Oh,
so I hope they don't treat me differently because they're kind of like starstruck.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah. Who the hell are you guys?
That's what they said.
It's Andy and Josh. Oh yeah, I remember.
I'm surprised
you guys.
he gave us a pick.
No, it'll be fun. We're gonna go do that next week. That should be a good time.
And then we have an announcement of 2 really cool picks too after that. So
we do.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
And then these amazing Corbin Cat, David. Thank you, and we can't thank you enough for what you're allowing us and our group and our audience to have access to. These are just amazing. Anthony, thank you for going out there and helping with that. Mark, thank you for
look. We got 3 really important people right here on stream. Anthony, if he likes what we pick,
we're good to go.
It's good.
I agree.
Okay,
agreed.
I may have an idiot savant palate, but he backs it up and he lets me know that it's actually, hey, good for you, gift or not. If Anthony likes it, it's a winner. So I'm great with that. Mark and Kathy are 2 of the coolest people you'll ever meet. So I've
only met Mark, but I'm sure Kathy is
was honored and just really happy to be out there with them. And I'm really glad that we got to share that Vegas experience together. Mark, thank you. Cheers to you and your beautiful wife. It was a great time. It was fun. David, I can't say thank you enough. Just
thank you, brother.
Not only does he have some of the best out there in the spirits world, he's just a damn good guy. Proud to call you our friend. I appreciate it. We love you, brother.
Yeah.
So until next time, guys.
And there will be next time.
There will be a next time.
Sometime next week. We don't know when.
Yeah. Is there something I should bring us out with Todd? Is there something? It's your birthday.
Might as well.
It's your birthday. Is there anything you guys want to see?
Yeah, Evernorth would be great, Corey.
Let me see if I can do something with Todd.
Andy picked the Pursuit United Double Oak Bourbon. So, yeah, that's actually, again, Anthony, it's being bottled tomorrow. The Pursuit United Double Oak Bourbon you guys picked.
Oh, yeah.
So that should be coming in the next couple
weeks. Anthony will tell you that was a banger, too. That was fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, I think we have to go back and get a rye, though.
Eventually. Well, maybe we'll do that. But in the meantime, guys, stick around. It's the clip's a little bit...
How long is it?
It's lengthy, but it's worth it because it just sums up. Todd
just play the damn thing, guys. We'll see you next week. Cheers,
cheers, guys. And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. Cheers, guys.
God damn it!
And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, it's just a goofy. It's a goofy name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy boys' names coming from? You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie is a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Soft names make soft people. I'll bet you anything that 10 times out of 10, Nicky, Vinny, and Tony will beat the shit out of Todd, Kyle, and Tucker. Here are some more men who ought to be strapped to a gurney and castrated with fishing knives. White guys who shave their heads completely bald. You know? They're so ashamed they lost 11 hairs, they're going to try to turn it into some kind of a masculine statement. I say, hey, you goofy-looking, baldy-headed Looks good on black guys. On you, it's ugly, repulsive, and disgusting. You want to be bald? Do what I did. Wait a while. Yeah. Meantime, there's no excuse for running around looking like a freshly circumcised dick.